Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at an animal you might see blending into the background out west, maybe seeming a bit, well, ordinary, the mule deer.
Yeah, you picture the big predators, the bears, the wolves as the stars.
Right. But we think the mule deer is actually incredibly important, a key symbol of that whole western wilderness ecosystem.
Absolutely. And it's amazing how quickly you can learn to spot its surprising adaptations.
So our mission today.
Let's really get into it. We'll analyze the key things, physiologically and behaviorally, that let the mule deer thrive in western North America,
And importantly, we'll focus on what makes it different from its cousin, the white-tailed deer.
which is a hugely successful animal, but sometimes a bit destructive.
You mentioned a kind of dark side to the whitetail success.
Well, yeah, it's a real issue. Their range is expanding, partly because of us, human activity, land use changes.
Climate change, too, I imagine.
Exactly. And as they move into new areas, especially north and west, they bring things with them. Pathogens.
Uh-oh. Like what?
Things like liver fluke, meningeal worms, stuff the deer carry. Okay, but it can be devastating for other animals like moose.
Devastating how?
We're talking liver failure, blindness, neurological problems. It often leads to starvation. It's pretty grim.
Wow. Okay, so that really highlights why knowing the difference between a mule deer and a whitetail is crucial. The mule deer is kind of the unassuming native here.
Right. So let's get into the ID. If you're out there, what's the absolute #1 giveaway for a mule deer?
Got to be the ears, right? I mean, they're just enormous.
Colossal was where they get the name mule deer after all. We're talking ears up to maybe 75% as big as their entire head.
75%. That's wild.
It really is. And it's not just the size. The amazing thing is how they move independently.
Like little radar dishes swiveling around.
Exactly like that. Parabolic antennas constantly scanning, pinpointing the tiniest sound. It's like stereo mapping of their surroundings.
Incredible. And useful for cooling off, too, I bet, in that western heat.
Oh, absolutely. They're loaded with blood vessels, perfect radiators for dumping heat. So, rule 1, look for those giant swiveling ears.
Okay, ears noted. What about where you find them? Location's a hint, right?
It's a strong hint, yeah. A good statistical bet. Generally, east of the Mississippi, down into central South America, you're probably looking at whitetails.
And mule deer.
Much more typical of the western mountain ranges, the high plains, the Rockies, that kind of landscape.
But their ranges can overlap.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Especially in the middle parts of the continent.
Yeah,
But the further west and higher up you go, the more likely it's a mule deer.
makes sense. Okay, next identifier. Antlers. Assuming it's a male, of course.
Right. And they're fundamentally different from a whitetails. Whitetails have that main beam with points coming off it.
Like tines on a fork, almost.
Yeah, sort of. But mule deer antlers,
Yeah.
they branch, they split. It's called,
Bifurcation. They fork near the base, and then those forks often fork again. Gives them that wide spreading look.
exactly. Bifurcate. That's the key difference. You see that double forking structure right away, you know it's a mule deer.
We were looking at scans of a massive mule deer skull cap earlier, just the top part, the brain case.
With the antlers attached.
Yeah, and seeing those huge branching antlers still connected, it really hits you, the sheer size and weight they carry, especially during the rut.
It's a massive energy investment, all that calcium, but crucial for dominance fights.
Okay, so ears, branching antlers. What's the third really easy visual cue, even from far away?
The tail. Simple as that.
Right, whitetails flash that big white underside when they run like a flag.
But mule deer tails are different. They're tipped with black.
Black tip tails, some are even called black-tailed deer because of it, right? Along the coast.
Precisely. So that's your trifecta.
Yeah.
Giant ears, branching antlers, black tip tail. Pretty solid ID guide.
Got it. So we can spot them now. But those huge ears aren't just for show. Life out west is tough.
Incredibly tough.
And you mentioned mule deer seem a bit less jumpy, less skittish than whitetails.
They often are, yeah. Which is great for us watching them, but maybe not so great when predators are around.
Makes them easier targets. So what are those big ears listening for, mainly?
Everything. They live in prime predator country. Their biggest threats, the ones really specialized to hunt them, are wolves and cougars.
Apex predators.
Definitely. But you can't ignore others. Bears are opportunistic. They'll take a fawn or a sick adult. And even large coyotes could be a significant threat.
Right. We saw some evidence of that, didn't we? Field samples showing
Yeah.
clumps of fur, bone fragment.
Yeah, it's like piecing together a little wildlife crime scene, the way the fur was scattered. Sometimes predators, like maybe that coyote apex predator suspected in one case, will sort of pluck or remove fur first. It's hard to digest.
Interesting. And you found specific bones, too. A shoulder blade?
A scapula, yeah, and part of a lower jaw, a mandible.
What did the jaw tell you?
That was quite revealing, actually. The front part, where the two halves of the lower jaw meet the symphysis, it was completely fused solid, meaning it wasn't a young fawn. That fusion happens as they mature. So this was likely a full-grown adult deer taken down.
So the predator wasn't just picking off the weak or small, it successfully hunted a mature animal.
Exactly. And the teeth confirmed it was a deer, perfectly formed for grinding tough plants. It just shows you they have to be constantly alert. Survival is hard work.
So constant threat from wolves, cougars, coyotes. How do they keep their numbers up? What's the counter strategy?
Basically, fast reproduction. It's crucial when predation pressure is high.
How fast are we talking?
Females can start breeding when they're just a year old. They can have fawns pretty quickly, helping to balance out the losses.
And the main breeding season is the rut in the fall.
That's right. That's when the males get really aggressive, testosterone-fueled, using those big antlers to fight for female.
Definitely a time to give them space.
Absolutely. They can be quite dangerous then. It's a raw display of energy.
Which brings us neatly to where all that energy comes from, their diet. You called them insatiable vegetarians.
Well, they have to be.
Yeah.
And they can eat such a wide range of stuff, plants that other animals just couldn't survive on.
And the secret is that amazing stomach, right? 4 chambers.
It's a masterpiece of biological engineering, honestly.
Yeah.
Think of it less like a stomach and more like a complex internal microbrewery.
A microbrewery, I like that. Okay, walk us through it. How does this brewing work? What's the deal with chewing cud?
Okay, so first, they just gorge, eat as much as they can quickly, especially if they feel exposed, and that food goes straight into the first chamber, the rumen. It's basically just a big storage tank.
Step 1, fill the tank.
Exactly. Then later, when they feel safe, maybe lying down somewhere quiet, the real process starts. They regurgitate clumps of that stored food back into their mouth.
That's the cud.
And then they just chew it again.
Yep. Long, slow, methodical chewing. Grinding all that tough, fibrous plant matter down into a much finer pulp. It seems like a lot of effort, chewing food twice.
Yeah, while they're supposed to be resting, does it really pay off? It absolutely has to. Without that second grinding, they just couldn't break down the tough plant cell walls to get the nutrients.
Okay, so they grind it fine. Then what?
Then that pulp goes into the second chamber, the reticulum. And this is where the magic happens. It's full of symbiotic bacteria and microbes. Billions of them.
The microbrewery workers.
Precisely. They ferment the pulp, breaking down cellulose and fibers that the deer itself can't digest, turning it into fatty acids and other nutrients the deer can absorb.
Wow. But it's not done yet. I thought you said 4 chambers.
Not quite. Often, the finer stuff moves on, but sometimes partially broken down stuff might even go back to the mouth for more chewing after the microbial action starts. Then it moves to the third chamber, the omosum.
Okay, chamber 3. What's its job?
Think of it like a filter press.
Okay.
Its main job is absorbing a lot of the water out of the mix, crucial in dry environments.
Conserving water.
Smart, very smart. And finally, the concentrated nutrient-rich slurry goes to the fourth chamber, the abomasum. This is like our stomach, the true stomach.
With acids and enzymes.
Exactly. Acids and enzymes finish the digestion, and all those hard-won nutrients finally get absorbed. It's how they turn rough, low-quality plants into pure energy and muscle.
An incredible system, 6 stages just to digest grass.
It's what lets them thrive where others would starve.
And all that energy powers some amazing movement. Let's talk about pronking, or stotting.
Pronking, stotting, yeah, same thing. It's that distinctive bouncing gait.
It looks so strange, almost comical, like they're on pogo sticks, all 4 feet hitting the ground and leaving at the same time.
It really does. All 4 legs stiff, jumping high in the air. It seems inefficient, right?
Totally. Why not just run flat out if there's danger?
Because it's not just about escape, it's communication. It's what biologists call an honest signal.
An honest signal, meaning what?
Meaning the deer is basically broadcasting a message to any predator watching. It's saying, look how fit I am. I have so much energy to spare that I can afford to waste it on these crazy high jumps.
So it's like saying, don't even bother chasing me.
Pretty much. If I can do this, imagine how fast I can run if I really need to. It's a display of vigor, a deterrent.
A biological boast. That's fascinating.
And predators, being efficient, might think twice. They'd rather go after something that looks easier to catch.
And can the mule deer back up that boast?
Oh, yeah. They can hit speeds around 50 kilometers per hour. And because all 4 feet leave the ground in a pronk, they can change direction almost instantly in midair. Makes them incredibly hard to predict and catch.
Just amazing agility. Okay, so let's recap for everyone listening. We've got the huge independent ears,
Radar dishes,
the distinct branching bifurcated antlers on the
a
males,
key visual difference.
the black tipped tail, not the white flag of their cousins,
Easy spot.
the incredible four-chambered stomach, that internal microbrewery processing cud,
Turning tough plants into fuel.
and finally, that strange but effective pronking, the honest signal of fitness.
All tools that let this species really master the challenging landscapes of Western North America.
They really did take it over, didn't they?
In their niche, yes. The mule deer is just a perfect example of specialized adaptation, resilience in a tough place. That's why it feels like such an icon of the Western wilderness. They thrive by being specialists.
Which brings us back to that comparison with the white-tailed deer. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener.
Given that the whitetail is thriving, expanding, partly due to human changes and spreading disease that harms animals like moose, it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, mule deer's specializations, its need for specific mountain habitats, its reliance on certain types of forage, will those things actually protect it, maybe prevent the kind of overpopulation issues we see with whitetail?
Or could that same specialization become a weakness? Will its inability to adapt as broadly as the highly successful, maybe too successful whitetail eventually put pressure on the mule deer? Could its status as that symbol of the wilderness be threatened because it's so perfectly adapted to a world that's rapidly changing around it?
Its strength might also be its vulnerability.
Something to chew on, you could say.